Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Red Pill News. For you, take the red pill. I tell you this, the world is a forever crazy changing place. And me personally, I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for any change. You're saying I'm going to nuke you. I say go ahead. Yeah, you're talking to someone that's already been nuked time and time and time again. I'm a master at getting nuked. I'm a master of self-destruction. Not much you can do to me that I haven't already done to myself. So yeah. So yeah, Mr. Putin. You got more to live for. You live for that yacht with the solid gold toilet paper dispensers. That's isn't that interesting? Solid gold. This is like the media now. They're going through the whole list of what Putin owns and all this stuff. You know, yeah, he's a billionaire. You know what the essence of freedom is. I tell my friends from other countries, it's being able to make your own choices, right? In America, land of the free, you can actually work really hard for the right people going in the right direction and make money for yourself. People get stuck in a rut. They end up working for people, whatever, and then But it's the level of success that you want. I think that you can achieve it. And there's also various ways of achieving those levels of success, United States of America, that you're not limited to. So when people say, they can't make it, come on, man. Really? Come on, man. It's America. Of course you can do it. Of course you can. And you have to have your dreams. Nobody should tell you your dreams are stupid or your dreams aren't realistic. They're not going to come to fruition. You have whatever your aptitude is the direction you should go. You're given skills for a reason, and you should use those skills, for your own happiness and the betterment of mankind. So that's right. That's right. As I sip my Starbucks Sumatra. What is it? Yeah, Sumatra. Sumatra roast. That's right. With a little bit of half and half. I know. I tried cutting half and half out because when you're trying to lose weight, half and half isn't diet food. But then you realize that you need it. This is not really, it's not really an element that you can get rid of. Once it's there, it's there. There's no going back to milk. You know that. And then all oat milk, soy milk, and milk this, but I don't need any of that. I don't need any of it. I'll tell you, I had a cauliflower pizza one time. And that's a sin. That's a sin for a pizza loving being like myself. Cauliflower crust pizza. I didn't stop farting for 3 days. 3 days. Nobody wanted to be around me. I didn't want to be around me. Although it started to feel interesting after a while. I was like, I'm never. As you declare, you ever get like really drunk and you're so sick after that, and you're like, oh, I'm never drinking again. That's me with cauliflower pizza. So yeah, and and why wouldn't it? That's the question. I don't know why I was surprised that it made me fart for 3 days, but that's where we're going with this here show. We're going to talk about things that after the fact, especially people. You know what? I read a lot of stories like this. Okay, and it's upsetting to me because when you're in a relationship with somebody, no matter who it is, male, female, maybe you have a love affair going on with donuts. I don't know what you do. Whatever you got. I don't like the people later on, way down the road, that reflect, especially when the other person is dead, saying that it was all in their mind or whatever. And I see a lot of women doing this, and I see it's like a trait of you know like regret. Like they regretted being with these people, even when they were with them, they were so deeply in love. And this one touches me closely, right? Because I kind of like Burt Reynolds, big that he was. Burt Reynolds was actually a stunt guy, stunt man, and he kind of made his career in acting, and he made movies you couldn't make now. He made movies about drunk driving, and it was fun. And they were jumping stuff, jumping cars over stuff, whatever. It was just fun, right? It wasn't like what we have now, enforced laws against DUI. Yeah, it's not politically correct to be funny about stuff like that. But these guys let it loose, you know, and it was a different era, different time, different place, but they let it loose. So Sally Field, Burt Reynolds was with for quite a while, and Sally Field is now debunking the myth that she was the love of Burt Reynolds' life. Actually, if you ask me, I think Burt Reynolds was the love of Burt Reynolds' life. He had a huge ego. I'm a fan of big egos, big ego people. When your ego just slams the door on other people, whatever they say, your ego is like, oh yeah, pa boom. That I love that. I love that. Love it. All right. And I used to tell people I had a big ego and whatever. My ego was so big it could power a small town, like that thing. No, I don't even come in. I'm not even in the same arena as these other guys. I just know. I just have probably my level of confidence these days is a little bit better than it used to be, but that is not saying much. All right. So 3 years before his 2018 death, Burt Reynolds wrote in his memoir, "But enough about me," that he regretted not fighting hard enough to keep his relationship with Sally Field, who is now 75 years old. Forrest Gump star. Yeah, she was in that movie, right? Who did she play? She played his mom, right? It was his mom. I barely remember. I just remember the movie irritated me, and you know what it was? I never watched it. I watched it. It was on commercial TV with a whole bunch of commercials, and commercials are the worst. And I just can't sit through them. And the drug commercial, and this and that. I don't want to see any of that or care. I don't have those syndromes and those needs or whatever. Those commercials don't apply to me, right? So then you start flipping the channels around, and you totally forget that you're watching Forrest Gump. But it was like just basically a guy that was kind of lightheaded, and he would go and achieve all these amazing things, which kind of brought the amazing things to a level of they're not so amazing if this guy would you know that type of thing. That's what I remember. Then he ended up having doing it with this girl that he was in love with, and she was out there doing it with a whole bunch of other guys and whatever, and then she ended up getting AIDS or something, and he did it with him. Ugh. Not a happy ending, not by a long shot. All right. The Forrest. It's funny they refer to her as the Forrest Gump star. I mean, isn't there other stuff that Sally Fields, Smokey the Bandit? Come on, man. That movie's more popular than Forrest Gump, and different type of even audience. Smokey and the Bandit people don't even get into the whole Forrest Gump thing. Come on. The Forrest Gump. I'm gonna change that. She was also the Flying Nun. She used to fly. She was in the show. she, Sally Field's been in the business for a long time, man. She was like a surfer and whatever. She was a flying nun. So she'd be like flying through the air. They put her up on wires, flying around. Look for clips on YouTube after the show. Flying Nun. You laugh your ass off. So the Flying Nun divulged to Variety that Reynolds made up the story that she was ever even in love with him. He was not someone I could be around, she said, in a marriage with him. he was he was not good for me in any way. Reflection's a bitch, isn't it? Reflection, it really is. Their romance reportedly began in 1977 on the set of Smokey and the Bandit, and they had an on off relationship until 1982. The pair starred in 4 films together. He had somehow invented in his rethinking of everything that I was important to him that he had just thought, but I wasn't. The Oscar winner continued. He just wanted to have the thing he didn't have. I just didn't want to deal with that. Ugh. What kind of psychobabble is that? He was with her for a long time. I think he had her. And had her. Following the Gunsmoke star's death, Field did not attend his funeral. You had one damn job. However, she released a heartwarming statement about him. She said, "Ba ba 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 ba." There are times in your life that are so incredible, they never fade away. They stay alive, even 40 years later. The amazing Spider Man actress told Page Six she was a Spider Man. I don't watch any of those things. My years with Bert never leave my mind. He will be in my history and my heart for as long as I live. See, there you go. And she said, "Rest, buddy. Rest, buddy. Rest, you egotistical sack of crap. good, good riddance. I'll kick dirt in your face if your coffin was open." If she was there, don't you want to just go to the funeral and just be the one that kind of brings the show? Give him a good going away present. Go yell and scream and cry. "Oh, I can't believe he's gone. Boo. He owed me money." you know, let it loose. He died unexpectedly at the age of 82. Do you really die unexpectedly at 82? I think 82. Men's in the United States of America. What's a male's expiration date usually in their 70s? 82. So yeah, and that was in September of 2018 due to health issues. He was set to star in Quentin Tarantino's film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood before his death. So it saved him from that, at least. Around the time Reynolds published his memoir, he opened up to Entertainment Tonight about how much he missed Field. You know what? There's always one. There's always one. The one. And maybe it didn't work out. Maybe there was whole kinds of fundamental problems. Maybe there was whatever. But there's always the one. And you like to think in a parallel universe, you made the right decisions and everything worked out beautifully. But in this life, it didn't. That's it. That's where Sally Field is at. She should have just said nothing. These people, they just want dirt and crap to print and kick a corpse. That's pretty much it. He said, "I do miss her. I think that she's one of the most underrated actresses. The Boogie Nights icon said she was the best actress I ever worked with. See, that's it. That's it. That's all. Goodbye." He said, "I really adored her. It was real. She's very, very special. Her mother and I, whatever, her mother and I, I loved her mother." Oh, man. Oh, man. What's going on there, Bert? He even claimed that Field's mother told him at one point, "I know you're going to break her heart, but please be gentle." You imagine that conversation with Burt Reynolds. I said, "I don't know how you could break someone's heart and be gentle, but I don't intend to break her heart. You never intend to." There you go. The drama. Ooh, the freaking drama. So, what is it about the people who have the regrets? Because you can have regrets for almost anything you've ever done, probably everything you've ever done. You know, in this crazy old world, especially. Either you remember it or you don't differently, or you build it up in your mind. And sometimes people are their own poison. They poison themselves. You know, it's crap, is what it is. Because if you operate from a position of hate and anger, who are you hating on? Who are you angry at? If you just consider yourself, you know, and you block out everybody else. You only deal with people that you essentially need to deal with, and you don't let other people get to you, because that's your own shortfallings. If you're looking at other people in the world and what they do bothers you, it always will. You know, Other people will always do something that will bother you if you're that type of picky uni person, and I am, but I don't let it bother me. I call the police or security or the front desk. I don't know. I call somebody and tell them what's bothering me. But it really comes down to you and your personal experience in this world, you know. and it can be a very horrible real world. I mean, there are people who are suffering right now on all kinds of levels all around the world. There are people suffering in war right now who are having their houses blown up and their pets blown up and all this stuff blown up and their neighborhoods blown up and their friends and neighbors and mothers and fathers, whatever. It's the world that we control, the world that we as people influence, right? The other day, it was the hottest day on record since they started recording the record in the North Pole and the South Pole simultaneously. It's like 100 degrees, one of the places, man. I just came on. There's things that are happening that people are going to have to be very strong to deal with. Am I saying it's climate change? Am I saying whatever? I think that if you pay attention to the times, you understand that things are happening. There's nothing anybody right now currently can do. Although I did like the fact that when COVID broke out and China shut down all their factory districts, you saw the pollution clear up over there. That's encouraging, and I think we have goals to work for. But we're also working with countries, obviously, that really don't care. They'll lie to you and whatever, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what if you're dealing with someone who has no respect for you. It doesn't matter what they say to you. It doesn't matter what you say to them. It's like a useless conversation, basically, right? But you see what's going on out there in the world and what's going on out there in your own neighborhood. People are letting loose because they think that they can, or they've been empowered to go rob stores or stab people in the street or just go off the wall. They've been empowered by PC, by politics, by whatever you want to put, whatever the machine puts on it, right? And they're sitting back, feeling the pain. So I went on this vegetarian site the other day. As a heckler, I'm not quite happy at the end of the day unless I've heckled somebody somewhere. And the internet has really made it so easy. I used to do it with my show when I had a television show on a local cable, and then the people that are they really get angry at some stuff you say, and then they would be funny because they call the television station, and then the television station, the manager there would be like, oh, I'll give you the producer's number. Meanwhile, I was my own producer. So then people call me, and I answer the phone, you know, and this one lady was just going off about some nasty stuff I said about Bush and Cheney, and it wasn't nasty. It was truthful, truthful and funny. And it's just kind of funny being the third person talking about yourself. You know, you, you have to turn into the next show, ma'am. And I recorded the whole conversation too. As the producer, I'm very concerned about what Mr. Angley had said. It's very important that you watch his next show. He will issue you a public apology for these things that you don't like. You know. Mm. So the next show, I do the show and I play the thing, and then I apologize and I was like, I'm sorry that you don't have the understanding of what free speech means. I'm sorry. Oh, it wasn't a very nice apology, but it was very funny. And then she called back, called my answer machine. I can't believe it. I enriched her life. That's the way you got to do it, man. You have to enrich people's lives. You have to lift them up to a level they wouldn't normally be at. Normally she's sitting there having her tea, little tea cakes, knitting something. Now she's on a raving rant. And then she was this crazy conservative. The funny thing is, Ithaca is the liberal capital of the world. Ithaca, Berkeley, either or, they're the liberal armpits of America. And I found the one conservative that got mad. What a life. So anyway, I'm on Facebook the other day, and I get this. They put these ads on, so I complain about all the ads. I say I find them offensive, which I do, because most of them are drug ads, and they're just kind of targeting people for their money. But they basically have a pill for everything. That's the pharmaceutical business, man. They got a pill for everything. They just ad with pill for everything. Call us, that's it. Whatever problem you have, got a pill for it, man. So in this case, it was a vegetarian group that sent me this ad, and I feel like they're trying to provoke me over hamburgers. And I'm not a vegetarian. I tried being a vegetarian for a year, and I ate chicken a couple of times during that time, so it didn't really work. And no matter how much I tried to convince myself chicken is not technically a vegetable, so then I go on there, and I'm like, you know, vegetables can feel pain, and they scream. So this dude jumps on me right away because they got nothing better to do. Jumps on me. Who did that study? He hissed at me like an angry old cat. So I post a study that was actually printphysics.org, and the study was a series of studies done by universities around the world, like in Hamburg, Germany, here in the United States, and in Oxford, England, whatever, Oxford. So I printed that, and then that kind of just put them in their checkmate. Usually, I don't do that. Usually, I like to kind of, you know, do a little cat and mouse. But in this case, I just nuked him, man. Duke Nukem. And then the moderator, the woman who has the page, what's your point? So the whole point was me answering a thing that they posted by Albert Schweitzer, saying that all life is valuable. All life has some kind of value, and that they were making the point for animals and whatever. I made the point for vegetables. So I want to read this to you. All right, because in case a vegetarian attacks you over your grill, you could tell them, hey, let's see. There's few moments that evoke a sense of summer, like catching a whiff of freshly cut grass. For many people, it's a pleasant sign that the water, temperatures, and all that, the warmer weather's coming in. For the grass, however, scent signals an entirely different story. The smell we associate with freshly cut grass is actually a chemical distress call used by plants to beg nearby critters to save them from attack. Usually it's an affront by insects, but in this case, it's lawnmower blades. After all, when danger strikes, whether it's landscaping equipment or a hungry caterpillar, plants can't lift their roots and run. They must fight where they stand. So isn't that interesting? You smell that fresh cut grass and you're smiling to yourself. Meanwhile, that's millions of blades of grass crying out in pain because somebody just chopped the crap out of them. You see, to protect to protect themselves, plants employ a volley of molecular responses. These chemical communications can be used to poison an enemy, alert surrounding plants of potential dangers, or attract helpful insects and perform needed service. Sometimes the plant's molecular defense plays double duty. For example, plants that produce caffeine use the chemical as a self-defense. So that's why I drink coffee, man. I use that. I spit out like one of those Jurassic Park dinosaurs. That thing. People give me some crap. These folds just open up on both sides of my head, and I spit out coffee beans at the until they run away. All right. All right. So it's a chemical. Also gives caffeine. Uh, Also gives bees a caffeine buzz. That's pretty cool. I'd be that bee. I'd be the bee. I'd, I'd be the bee in the bee. Yeah. The cafe bees treat the plant like it's the corner coffee shop, returning again and again and leaving their pollination services as payment. See, gotta love the bees. Clearly, plants can communicate, but does that mean they can feel pain? It's a troubling scenario for salad lovers squeamish at the thought of eating foods with feelings, or for them to answer they may not be. So if you eat a hamburger, a beef burger, it's dead. the meat is dead. It's not alive. There's stuff going on, bacteria, all kinds of things happening, but it's not going to cry out in pain because it's gone. But the vegetables will, and they do. All right. So, according to researchers at the Institute for Applied Physics at the University of Bonn in Germany, plants release gases that are equivalent to crying out in pain. Using a laser powered microphone, researchers have picked up sound waves produced by plants releasing gases when cut or injured. Although not audible to the ear, the secret voices of plants have revealed that cucumbers scream when they are sick, flowers whine when their leaves are cut. There you go. There's also evidence that plants can hear themselves being eaten. Researchers at the University of Missouri, Columbia, found that plants can respond to chewing sound made by caterpillars that are dining on them. Here's a noise. They respond with several different mechanisms. For some researchers, evidence these complex communication systems emit noises via gasoline stress signals that plants feeling pain. Others argue that there cannot be pain without a brain. That's not true. That brain. And then they kind of, if you put a flame with them or something, they run away in pain. Is that? But still more scientists surmise that plants can exhibit intelligent behavior without possessing a brain or conscious awareness. You liberals. That's it. You just described a whole bunch of people. Thank you. So whenever someone gets at you for your hot dog, let them know. And they say, hey, dude, you should have a veggie dog. Those things taste like crap. They taste like they made of Play-Doh. Veggie dog. Why bother? Have some tofu and call it a day. You know what I mean? So in our society, teachers who are losing it because their students are being disrespectful. They think that they can do whatever they want to do. Violence in classrooms is a terrible thing. One teacher took a gun away from a student, and he ended up getting fired. I had to hire him back because they really couldn't fire him. Suspended him with pay, but the guy took the gun away from me. I don't know, whatever. So this is the deal. This is the attitude that's going to cause a downfall of everything that all the that people really value, peace and safety, right? So, in this case, this teacher had enough. Okay, mouth or teacher resigned. Students during in-class tirade. He was done playing with you idiots. See, when you get to that zone, there's no going back, man. You actually can see yourself doing it and saying these things. You're like, this part of you saying, stop, go back. There's the rest of you saying, I have to do this. Identified teacher at Southwest High School in Jacksonville was no longer employed as of Friday after his verbal outburst that was recorded days prior. I was scared, sophomore Samaye, Josie, Jemiah told the station. I didn't know what to do. I was so scared. I had my hand on my gun, just waiting for him. Waiting. Jemiah's record, which went viral online last week, begins with the male teacher asking if anyone else in the class wanted to test his authority. You want to test my authority? Oh, I've heard that in my life. You testing me? Because I am effing done playing with you idiots, the teacher raged on the clip. I am here because I want to be here. I somewhat enjoy this job. Somewhat. You need something from me. I need nothing from you. You see, that's where you've gone to an area where, what do you think is going to happen when you say to these kids? This guy should have just walked out the door. and say, "Get a substitute. I'm going to Jamaica for a week. I'll see you." Can take a break because kids can be jerks. Anybody can. And then now they're more empowered. There's no rules anymore. There's no rules. They do what they want to do. Nobody stops them. And if you stop them, they arrest you. They drag you through the mud, or they just print your face in the paper saying that you're this terrible person, right? Like the article I'm reading right now. But he's unnamed. But people in that area know who he is. The teacher then pivoted to what Chamaya said was a racially charged language. Oh. He said, "You can go through life and live on the effing system, draw your paycheck on the 1st and the 15th from my taxes, and live just an absolute horrible life. I don't care," he said. "You can be another statistic. I don't care. That's on you." I don't know what's race. What's race with that? Because there's a lot of poor white people out there too. I don't know what race, unless the makeup of the class is something, whatever. I think he was just talking unachievers, but whatever. Everybody wants to throw the race card and everything that they can these days. Teacher then noticed that Jemiah was reacting to his heated remarks and ordered her to leave the classroom. "Get out of here, Jemiah. I'm sick of you recording me. Urgh, idiot. And if you don't like my language, I don't give a shit." The teacher then shouted. The teacher, Samuel Jackson, shouted, "You mother effers. The heck do you think of me? I tell you, mother effing stuff. I don't need this mother effing stuff. Mother effer. What's in your wallet?" That's it. The teacher shouted, "What's in your wallet?" Officials at Onslow County Schools confirmed that the unnamed teacher, Voldemort, was no longer in front of students after his caught on camera outburst during a first period class. In the Onslow County school system, we expect only the highest standards of behavior from our students and staff. They should just kind of rephrase that. In the Onslow County school system, we know our teachers take a lot of crap and we make them, and that's the job, is taking crap. And we treat every member of our school family with dignity and respect. No, they don't. Well, they'd have his back, because if these kids are treating him like crap, then they should get rid of them. You put them into one of those rehab facilities, man, because they've proven that they can't live with other people. They can't be in the mainstream, right? When you have disruptive kids in the class, especially when the other one's kind of in. It's not good. I'll tell you about cell phones. I know a lot of teachers. Cell phones is their enemy, because these kids won't put them down. They're addicted. They can't put them away. If you take them away, you get stabbed. So that doesn't work. So Shamaya acknowledged the teacher erupted after one student didn't put their phone away. Oh, there you go. I just said that. Their phone and computer away at the start of class, but insisted he simply went too far. Here's a picture of Chamaya looking like she doesn't want to be on camera. Her mom looks like she'd take a cinder block and pop it over your head. Probably mad that teaching. "I feel like what he was saying was wrong," she told the station. "I feel like it was racially motivated. It was disrespectful. Your job is to encourage me and push me to the best I can be, even though it wasn't said directly to me. Dang, that's how you really think about us." You see, I don't do the race thing, man. That's people's cop out. You know that, because this guy wasn't yelling and screaming about it. He just didn't want the obviously there's people in the class who are the unachievers that are causing disruptions and the problems. And it's not good to lose your stuff in front of people these days, mainly because everyone's got a camera. There's no possible deniability. There's no, I didn't say that when they got you. The teen's mother agreed, saying that the teacher clearly crossed a line. I don't talk to my children like that, so I don't really expect an educator to talk to my children like that, Nikki Josie said. To listen to the video for the first time, I had tears in my eyes. What's this? Okay, picture of her with some tear going on, something. All right. Before anyone says that she was being disrespectful, respect flew out the window a long time ago. Josie wrote, "My daughter makes good grades, and she is a student athlete." Man, nobody's questioning your daughter. It's questioning that kid that the guy was mad at. But yeah, there's certain. You know what? I couldn't be a teacher. Teach, but I couldn't be a teacher, especially in America, especially these days. You know, it's not really something that I would have the tolerance for. And I'm not saying I have a short fuse because there's a lot. I can take a lot of crap. Lord knows the mountains of crap I've taken in my life and kept it together. Only because I really compartmentalize, and then the people that can truly hurt me or insult me are the ones that I care about. The ones that I don't care about, they're what they are. Doesn't matter what they say because their words are meaningless. It's that type of thing, right? But I couldn't be a police officer. I'd be in jail. The second somebody got disrespectful, I'd get on that taser. Go, yeah, especially if they're guilty. There's one thing, because cops, you're not supposed to mess with innocent old people. But if someone's committing a crime and like you're chasing them down, they're endangering other people. That's when it gets all heated. You know, that's why that Rodney King, they beat him up because he was a crazy crackhead that led the police on a car chase for hours over 100 miles per hour in these dense city streets in LA. They got a hold of him. They beat the hell out of him, man. But I'll tell you, they shouldn't, as soon as they had him surrounded, they shouldn't have been allowed to arrest him. Not the police officers in the chase. Too much adrenaline, man. You have to let other people come in that aren't as heated. When people get heated in that type of thing, they sometimes they lose it, and they lose it. You don't want to deal with that. So, all right, I'm gonna put that where that belongs. So, remember the show called Friends, right? I never watched it because it was like a show about these obnoxious people who hung out in a cafe. I mean, I can see that anywhere. You can go to any cafe and find the same type of people. It's just I don't find shows like that interesting or funny. Yeah, I've been watching some Seinfeld, believe it or not. Show really is funny. Jerry Seinfeld is actually a very funny guy, But the show, I like the people on the show. They're real enough to be sketchy enough to be real. I'll just say that. And okay, so Lisa Kudrow, she was on the show Friends. The only reason I'm talking about this is because she's another person that says that she doesn't remember filming Friends at all. At all. All right. Lisa and I'll tell you the story. Lisa Kudrow and Courtney Cox both appeared in over 200 episodes of Friends, but it sounds like neither star can remember filming parts of the beloved 90s sitcom. On Monday, Kudrow was a guest on Sirius XM's whatever and answered questions from fans about her life and career. And at this point, who's talking to her? And Andy Cohen, he's talking to her. It's like, hey, what? I can't believe it. It's you. No, it's who are you? You're from that annoying show back in whatever it was. All right. So Courtney Cox answered questions from fans. One listener called and asked Kudrow about Cox's interview. And Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox earlier this month, which she revealed that she doesn't recall filming episodes of Friends. She said, "Well, Courtney and I are completely in the same boat." Kudrow replied, "We don't even remember what episodes we were in." That's it. That's why I didn't watch. It didn't mean anything to people in it. Kudrow added, "I know I haven't seen all the episodes." And Andy Cohen jumped in to ask Kudrow if the entire cast like Jennifer Aniston and Matt LeBlanc and Matthew Perry and David Schwimmer, received copies of the episodes before they aired. Uh, she responded that they did not, and she said that the kids initially watched Friends together. And then you get busy, and then you're tired. Rose said, "That's you see, she just described life." And you, ooh, in the morning again, coffee, and watch every Thursday night. I have a kid, and things are happening, and it wasn't even. Then joined what TiVo is. Basically, drugs and alcohol that got these. They were highly paid in that time frame. There was a part of television where they didn't get paid much. Ted Danson only made $10,000 per episode. Stupid. So I'm more of a critic on myself. So, but I valued it. And when I was a writer and an entertainment writer, and every time I got published, I ran and got the paper, and I valued it. I valued research. So it's just interesting that here's another person that really didn't have any value in what they were doing. You know. Anyway, I don't know what. I want to read this because it's fun telling the Kanye story, and I love my Kanye stories. Kanye's got everybody against him right now. He's got all puppies and kittens hating on him right now. You know, so I'm gonna hate on Kanye. In fact, I think that I'm trying to understand where the poor guy's brain is at, but he's going to Pete Davidson. It's like really David and Goliath. Davidson is just Pete Davidson. And of course, he's dating Kanye's wife. Actually, is now Kim Kardashian. Right? The guy's going nuts, and everybody's telling him to stop, and Simmons is threatening all kinds of happening from this time, which tells me that people really have no life, like me. This is what I'm talking about. So he's all proud that he calls Pete off of so whatever. So now his behavior, because he's been such a freak, Kanye West grant to concerning online behavior. So Kanye West will no longer be hitting 22 stage as a rep for the artist. Has confirmed that his performance has been pulled due to his concerning behavior. Variety confirmed that the news shortly collaborator, rapper, game, social media, uh, He's gonna kill Pete Davidson, cyberbullying Pete Davidson. He canceled by woke people. Welcome to woke, yeah? Racial slur while addressing the Daily Show host. Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah had to get it, and he just wanted to get in there so people know his name. Otherwise, he would be in there. Right? Grammys have at the last minute decided to pull Kanye West from performing on the show, as if we didn't know it was coming. The game born, whatever, Jason Taylor, and they're gonna racism. What they're gonna say it was, some other thing that why they don't want him there except real reason. That's what people will play all these cards and use all these things instead of just putting your finger on the real reason. What the reason is, it's the real reason. So let's see. Also, Trevor Noah is hosting, and there's a conversation being held amongst his team and the academy that led to the decision. Became Yee's account, because that's Kanye calls himself Yee. Yee and Skeet sounds like a party you don't want to go to. His account was suspended just days ago for reasons unknown, but they said it was his rants. He says, "Speak your mind in this country for yourself, family, or your people, and you're ostracized immediately. And if you push them hard enough, they will not stop at no ends to try to put an end to you as a whole." I can't sleep at night knowing I was quiet about issues burning holes in my heart, or narratives incorrectly pushed by the mass agenda to create a mindset that the person at hand is crazy or has issues internally that are beyond repair. He sounds like that nut in a house for 1,000 corpses. You ever watch that movie? The guy that ends up like skinning people alive and all that. He goes on the same type of rant. That's scary. Skeet better watch out. So Kanye got canceled because of Skeet. And that, while West will no longer be performing, the rapper's 2021 album Donda has been nominated for 5 awards, including Album of the Year. So Ye will be in the audience. And of course, if he wins, he's going to get up there and go through the whole thing. That would make it worthwhile watching. Just like that. Just that. I don't watch these two. I would watch if I knew this guy was going to win. He went up there. Oh my God. A live event? Oh my God. That's the reason why Taylor Swift is famous, because the dude jumped on stage saying she didn't deserve the award, and she played that card. She played the sympathy card. I can't believe he did that to me. Yeah, sister. Nobody knew your name was after that. Before that, nobody knew, because nobody cared about country music. The people that care about country music don't have any money, so it's not like they're going to go out and circulate some kind of advertising business for these companies. That's why they on these country channels, these country shows, they advertise the dollar store. You know what I mean? They have no money. Tune into Fox. Look at those commercials. They're all drug ads and Mercedes. News of Yee's canceled performance comes days after one critic began a petition to have Yee dropped as the headliner at Coachella. There you go. People show up to see the guy, especially now since he's more interesting, since he's crying out there for his lost love. But the whole thing, you don't think that the whole thing's a gimmick? Come on, man. It's not as real as you think it is in that type of world. In that type of world, it's not. It never is. It's made for you to watch. It's made for you to focus on over other stuff, and that's all that is. They call it programming for a reason. I like to hear poke fun of them because it's funny. It's just funny. I don't know if I could hang out with Kanye, man. That might be a little heavy. Skeet, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I find him to be incredibly annoying. He comes off like I don't know. You ever been around rats? like the antics, like a kind of a big fat gray rat, like the antics of a rat. I'm not saying rats are terrible. Oh yeah, yes, I guess I am. I have to. I'm from this New York City, man. You know what? If you're from the city, there's things that you just don't like. That's on your list, and rats is one of them. But that's what he reminds me of. He kind of, and he's from Staten Island, so there's that. He kind of reminds me of that little furry type of rat, man. And as long as Kim is with him, it's going to drive the other dude crazy, and that's why she's with him. She probably had 10,000 dudes picked out and say, "Who could I be with that would drive Kanye completely crazy?" He's already like 9 types of crazy. Maybe cross that number 10. Who could I date? She's probably watching Saturday Night Live and she's seeing this dude. Ha ha. Let me send Pete Davidson an email, and that's how it happened. That's how it happened, folks. Well, I know that's how it happened. That's how it happened for me. Anyway, I'm going to end the show on that note because it's time to go for the Red Pill News. Thank you for my lovely audience around the world, 1.5 million people strong. We're gaining numbers all the time because you like to just chill and hang out. Yeah, you have to laugh at life. Otherwise, you're crying at life, and laughing's better than crying. I'll see you guys on the Red Pill News for your Red Pill analysis next week on this show, unless we get nuked. Bye.